What can I do when I'm stuck inside you? This cell of ice and fire, what blood red death, lost and desire, smell of life expired.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Rick Paulton. See, I'm trying to point this way. Oh, it's still working. No, it's not. No, it's not. Ryan Inman. And yeah, welcome to our least promoted, least advertised, least prepared for show we've ever done.
I thought that was 2 weeks ago.
Well, we did it again.
Oh, we
brought it back. Well, I at least promoted that one. I at least made the flyer and I advertised it a little bit. You know,
Yeah.
This one we did fucking dick all.
I've been sick all
Yeah,
week.
you've been
2
fucked,
weeks,
yeah.
really.
Yeah.
The last time I was here
It was right before you got sick.
It was 2 weeks ago.
And you were starting to get sick that day.
That night,
Yeah.
I went to where I was going to sleep that night, not home but somewhere else.
Yeah.
And in the middle of the night, at like 3 a.m, I thought I had to pee.
Mm.
So I got up out of bed. I took 2 steps, and I was so dizzy I fell right on my face on the basement floor and decided I'm burning up, but it's really cool down here.
I'm just staying
going
here.
to hang out here. So I reached back up.
And we've all been there. We've all done that. But since you quit drinking, you have not done that.
No.
See,
I pulled the pillow off the bed and just slept on the floor with the dog for a while.
yeah, I've been there. But anytime I was there, I was definitely really drunk. I just said, fuck it.
My
This is where I sleep.
my stomach was destroyed. I thought I had food poisoning or something, which takes me back to like last March. I had this like weird thing like that too. And I thought I had food poisoning then. Maybe I just had a version of this bug that wasn't as severe, you know, because like it matched up. Except, you know, once my stomach felt better, I had a horrible fever and was bedridden for almost a week. So, yeah, you'll have that.
Yeah.
But I think I lost like 10 pounds, so that's cool.
That's good. Yeah. Good diet.
I broke it today with that pizza. But
Good pizza.
yeah.
Good pizza. Mimi's Pizza. They don't pay us, but
No.
check them out.
Oh, they paid me a banana pudding today, though.
Yeah. For your birthday, your happy birthday. And since it's your birthday.
Oh, no.
See. Oh, hold on. I'm fucking this up.
I don't know what's going on here.
All right, add to stage.
Oh, it's Frylock.
You got Frylock there. See.
Let's all sing happy birthday. Ready? Happy
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh, stop, don't sing. Stop. Hold on a sec.
Oh, look who showed up. I thought you said you didn't do birthdays.
Flag.
I am responsible for the paradigm shift in birthdays and how they will be viewed in the following
Hold on.
centuries.
Jake, what the hell is that?
You know, the famous everybody to sleep.
Oh, yeah, and the sing when you
Well,
interrupted.
why? Because I will go on whenever someone ties the ribbons.
Gotcha.
This be singing.
Here it is.
Deep within the wall of time, a creature
You want to use the classic
the
birthday.
seed of life is united with the egg of tyranny. She's forth from within
Eddie Lee
the
was
womb of
happy
life for
birthday
free
song.
for an eye
This,
here.
The
The queen should thus be
Jack Wild in the
born. The queen should thus be formed.
This is Zach Wild.
The Zaz's old guy.
Yeah, Ozzy's old guy. No, we're
Now we're
advertising.
doing,
No, we're
now
all
we're doing the real ads, man.
Oh, it's still
Wow.
playing. Oh, these guys. I told you this is the least prepared, most worst show we've ever done. This is it. I guarantee you. You guys ever do a top 5 worst shows we ever done? This will be the best or the worst.
Depending on your point of view.
Depending on your point of view, this will be number 1. There's no one here. No one has commented the whole time. This is the longest we've ever been on air without anybody saying anything. Somebody's watching, though, and it's not me. So
Sometimes it feels like somebody's watching me. I'll tell you that.
oh, Jesus Christ.
I feel bad though that we actually started playing a Big Boy commercial on here. Fuck that. We don't advertise for them. But CSR Collectibles, we do
advertise for them. And if you order right now and put enchiladas in, what the hell did I just walk into? Zigzag. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. We're just kind of freestyling this, man. Like, we have nothing prepared. very little prepared. We wanted to do a whole David Lynch tribute show, but we are going to talk about David Lynch. But Ryan's a real big fan of his. I don't know much about him. I know the movies he's directed. I've yet to see any of them.
That's blew my mind.
So the plan was to watch said movies, take some notes, get prepared, and have this whole back and forth thing. But I work like 90 hours a week, 2-3 different jobs, and I just didn't find time to do it. But we'll get to that. But that was the plan, and the best laid plans of mice and men, as they say. But anyway, CSR Collectibles, back to that. Promo code Enchiladas, and if you order now, they're doing a pre-sale with Matthew Lillard and the other guy from Scream, double signed items.
Skeet
Ulrich, that's the motherfucker right there. And wow, Blue Velvet and Elephant Man. No, I might have seen Elephant Man. I seen 10 minutes of Blue Velvet, and I really liked what I seen. I seen 10 minutes of Eraserhead and liked what I seen there. Actually, I seen about 30 minutes of that.
See, for a horror guy, that'd be the one I'd steer you to first.
Yeah. I'm gonna check them both out as soon as I can. But I started both of them and then passed out on 2 different nights, on 2 separate nights.
Not on a basement floor, though.
Not on a basement floor, though. No, I passed out on my bed over there.
Okay,
but
it's better than what happened to me.
But I did go see a screening of Wolfman before we get into the David Lynch thing. And since Ziggy's here, the Death Curse Society did a review for that on Monday, and didn't go so good for them.
No, I didn't think it
did not. They gave it an average of a 5.5 out of 10, I believe. Lynch is an acquired taste. Yeah, it seemed that way. Very artistic from what I seen. I really liked what I seen, but I have to watch. I think it's stuff that I have to watch alone and not with my kids around, because they will distract me, and then I will yell and scream at them. And
he's only really made 10 feature films, and really only 8 because 2 of them are offshoots of the TV series. They're also different, and that's one thing I'll say. And I like all of them. I don't love them all, but I like them all.
Yeah,
I love some of them. But they're all so different. And in acquired taste, I guess you could say that about some of his work, but some of it you could just sit down and watch.
Yeah.
I think. A couple of them. Hello.
Hey, what's up, Patricia? How you doing? So yeah, from the poorly played Aqua Teen Hunger Force birthday song that I tried to do poorly and will probably get us kicked off of YouTube for copyright. It is Ryan's birthday. Ryan's happy birthday.
29 again.
29.
Yeah.
29 years old.
Maybe 39.
Maybe 39?
Yeah. Definitely not 49.
Definitely not 49. Somewhere in the middle.
No, I'm not from San Francisco. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have questions for Lee Winnell about Wolfman. Absolutely, dude. So Wolfman, yeah, I went to see it, and I seen it on early screening for free, thank God. And I really had high hopes for it. I seen the same thing everybody else seen, the way the wolf was supposed to look and how stupid it was, but I didn't let that detract me because, first of all, I thought they were doing a Sonic the Hedgehog deal where they let out this really horrible Sonic the Hedgehog, and then the internet's all up in arms, and I'm never going to watch this. And then they, within 10 minutes, changed the whole movie and put Sonic the way you really wanted to see him, which means it was always the good way. They didn't really change anything. They just wanted to make you talk about it. I thought that's what they were doing with the Wolfman. I was disappointed when I seen the Wolfman because it was pretty close to what you seen with the Universal, the HHN thing.
Mm-hmm.
He looked horrible. The story didn't really make much sense. The whole thing takes place in one night.
Yeah, I saw the trailer and I got the vibe that it was just like a survival.
It was the longest night in history. The absolute longest night in history. And I could not wait for it to be over.
Monster Squad. I understand that reference.
What does it say? This one?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Wolfman's got nards. Absolutely. Much better Wolfman. And then Ziggy says happy birthday. And Patricia says Sonic the Wolfman, the movie we actually needed.
Maybe,
Anything would be better.
Maybe he can fight Bigfoot and Jason.
That was a good fucking movie. I'll die on that hill. I will absolutely die on that hill. That was a good, entertaining movie. I loved it. Yeah, it was a good movie.
I had fun watching it. I think just because we watched it with everyone together.
Yeah. It was not bad, man. It wasn't bad.
If I sat home and just watched that by myself, though, I don't know if I would.
I think that's how I discovered it. I think I was flipping through watching other stuff, and there's no damn way that they made a Bigfoot versus fucking Jason.
St. John's, Michigan, Jason in the house.
What's up, brother? So, yeah, Patricia thought it was funny. It's the type of movie she likes. Crazy, like I believe she's like into like those crazy B movies, which are fantastic.
I'm sure JP loved it.
Oh, JP loved it. Of course he did. Of course he loved it. But the Wolfman, back to the Wolfman, there's a scene where the daughter tells the mother, the dad just wants us all to be over. She's got the gun, and she's trying to talk the mom into killing the dad. She just wants us all to be over. And I said, no fucking shit. I want this to be over. And it just is it the worst movie I ever seen? Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
And you want an F or an A. You don't want a D-. Like I want it to be the worst movie I ever seen so I can laugh about it and just talk about how bad it is, or to be the best thing I ever seen. Like Nosferatu was amazing. Amazing.
You want Nosferatu or The Crow? You got neither.
No, The Crow is good. What do you mean?
The remake.
Oh, God, yeah. Yes, absolutely.
I'm talking about in terms
right,
of,
yeah, you threw me off
I'm
with
talking
that.
about in terms of movies from last year.
Yeah. I want Nosferatu or I want The Crow. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I was.
You get like what Zigzag.
Yeah, it's like any Blumhouse movie. It's is it going to be the worst movie you ever seen? No. It's going to be the best movie you ever seen? No. It's just going to be there. It's just going to be there, and that's all they do. And they always make money, and that's all they're going to keep doing because they can. And we're going to go see it because that's what we do. Enough of us will go see it. But I heard the Wolfman made really bad money. Anybody know what they made?
I don't know.
Versus the budget. But I heard that they were one of the rare Blumhouse flops.
See, I know that.
I'll take Wolf Cop too.
I got spared since I was sick with RSV. I couldn't go to the movies.
Yeah, because he had a free tickets as well. He would have went with us.
So I was spared of it at the theater. But obviously, I will watch it as soon as it hits streaming because you told me to skip it at the theater.
Yeah, definitely do not.
If Rick's telling me not to go to the theater to see it, I ain't fucking going.
Should have called it Face of the Wolf. But the face didn't look like a wolf. I don't know what it looked like.
I'd rather watch The Wolf of Wall Street again.
I heard somebody, that's a good wolf movie.
I know it.
I heard somebody describe it as a zombie movie pretending to be a Wolfman movie.
Interesting.
And it's kind of accurate because the way he gets turned and he slowly, it's got zombie vibes for sure. And then they're in the house trying to board up the house and keep the other wolf. There's two Wolfman, spoiler. There's trying to board up the house to keep the other Wolfman from coming. I don't know. It just wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. I don't know. The husband, he's a Susie homemaker, and he cooks the dinner for the family. When the wife comes home and she's on her phone with her business boss doing business things, and like the whole role reversal of genders and this. And I'm a liberal guy, but I mean, like, I don't need all that stuff. I don't know. It seemed forced. It seemed very forced, the wokeness, which I hate to call it wokeness, but like it just seems so forced. Like she had the short hair, like from like business suit, pantsuit woman, and he's like in the kitchen cooking dinner, taking care of the kids. It's like that's fine, but I don't know. It just seemed really forced. It didn't seem natural at all.
2025, a new
18.6 million worldwide
of horror is coming. It is the wokeness monster. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Driving. Okay.
Oh, the Wolf of Wall. She's talking about the Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah,
when he's high as hell driving the car and crashing it, but he doesn't get crawling out of it, and he doesn't even realize he's crashing it up. But 18.6 million worldwide for a movie like that was as heavily promoted as that is horrible.
Sidebar: I saw The Wolf of Wall Street in the theater. Obviously, when it came out.
I did too. Love it.
And the girl I was a woman I was dating at the time walked out halfway through it.
Oh wow.
She did not enjoy it.
Oh, it's a fantastic
it.
movie.
And I'm like, well, it's your prerogative. That's cool. I'm staying. So that was a long time ago now.
She's
15 years ago.
She's not allowed to work with Keanu Reeves. Who is not allowed to work with Keanu Reeves? The girl from the Wolfman?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
Who is it?
I don't know her name, but she was in some other stuff that other people like. Ozark. You ever see Ozark?
Yeah,
she's in that.
That's a cool show. A
lot of people like it.
I only saw that half of the first season. I never finished it up, but I do want to eventually.
Yeah, the girl from Wolfman. Yep.
Yeah, I do eventually want to get through that series because I heard it's really fun.
So I was watching the Ohio State University win their 9th national championship in the theater on Monday. That was really cool.
Wow.
So while I was there, I couldn't watch. My plan was to take my earbuds to the theater because since it's a football game, nobody's going to give a shit you're on your phone, you know? But I mean, obviously you couldn't have the volume up.
No.
So I was trying to watch Death Curse Society because I knew these guys were going to have great opinions on this movie, especially Colonel, because I heard a rumor that he was coming back for that show. And he's a giant Wolfman fan. So, but I forgot my earbuds, so I couldn't hear it. I went out in the lobby a couple times to get popcorn or use the bathroom, and I turned it on then. So today I watched it on watched their show on YouTube and bombarded their page with like the 10 comments I would have put while I was watching it live. So Charles Sherrod got blacklisted from FX movies. Oh, right on.
Fox movies, huh?
Oh, yeah. Well, Fox, FX, same thing.
Huh.
One just makes movies and one makes TV shows.
That's true.
Yeah.
Sometimes they make.
Well, she seemed like a cunt to me. I mean, am I allowed to say that? I don't know.
You're allowed to
Well,
say what
I just
you want.
did. I just did, right? So yeah, the Wolfman sucked. I don't recommend it to any. Well, let me rephrase it. Watch it for free, and you might find things about it you like. I did like some things about it. I didn't totally hate it. Like I said, it's DC somewhere in there. It's yeah.
No, at
but do watch it.
7:20 p.m. Rick said the C word. Okay, I took it.
Oh, okay.
So sponsors are going to really start pouring in now.
Is that one of the 7 words I'm not supposed to say?
It actually is.
Yeah.
No, people use that word a lot. I don't actually use that word.
Charles Sherrod says he says it all the time.
I actually don't use that word.
I usually don't either, but when it's very rare,
Very
it's kind of warranted with this.
Like, I got this taste slapped out of my mouth when I was a little boy for using that word. And I just don't use it.
Right on.
Just like I don't litter either because I got the living shit kicked out of me when I was a little boy for littering.
Hey, hi, Gina. Oh, there you are, Gina. I was going to say, I didn't see Gina. How did Patricia see Gina? There she is. She says, sorry I'm late. What's up, everyone? How you doing? Nah, we're just doing random topics. We're going to talk a little bit about David Lynch. We were going to have a more in-depth conversation, but I couldn't do my research. So, well, let's see. How are you? Oh, okay, they're talking back and forth. Okay, so did you see the list of movies that are playing in Cinemark starting February 1st?
Yeah, because you told me.
Yeah, so starting February 1st, in your Cinemark near you, we have. Let me bring up the list. This is some good stuff, man. Well, on the 5th or the 6th, the 5th and the 6th, the 4K Hellraiser's playing, and we're definitely going to one of those. Mm-hmm. So you got that going on the 5th or the 6th. I think it's the 5th and the 6th. And otherwise, for 5 straight days, they have a special thing called Love You to Death. I shared it on the page, but in case you didn't see it, Silence of the Lambs, February 1st.
Nice.
Dracula, February 2nd.
Which
Bram
one?
Stoker's.
Okay.
Which either way would be awesome.
92?
Nah, I believe so.
Yeah.
Midsommar, who I've never seen, and I don't think I will.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, that seems like a movie I wouldn't like. I don't know.
I think you would.
You think I would? Maybe I'll give it a shot. This is the one I'm really excited for. My Bloody Valentine, 1981, February 4th. And then Shaun of the Dead, February 5th. Can't go wrong with that. Craig says, happy birthday, Ryan. How you doing? Man. Blue Velvet is my jam. I watched 15 minutes of Blue Velvet and fell asleep. But I was just I really like the way it was shot, the colors he uses, and he's very artistic in what he does. And I know Crank is a giant David Lynch fan.
Good.
Oh yeah, he's Twin Peaks is like his thing. He's like all about it.
I got a confession to make about Twin Peaks.
Yeah,
No, I
Oh,
do.
okay.
But I've only watched it once.
The series or the movie?
Both.
Okay.
All of it. Anything to do with Twin Peaks. I did watch the 2017 Showtime one once too.
Mhm.
So, but I didn't rewatch the OG before I did. I probably should have.
Yeah, it says half the DCS guys in here, and which is funny because one thing I did hear while I was watching their show on Monday is they're doing the thing where they give a shout out to all their members, and we're one of them. And he's like, yeah, those whole damn enchilada guys have really been kicking ass. They're stepping up their game, and then we do a shit show like this with them watching.
Yeah.
No, we still suck. Oh,
See,
Jesus.
we need to have people put us over and then do a show like the award show.
Yeah. Put us over, have people see it. It's a good
Yeah,
show. People will talk about it. This show, not so much.
With guests and
Yeah.
bells and whistles and
We had production value. We had production.
Yeah, we need a producer.
It was great. I produced the shit out of it. Just finished Twin Peaks season 2 again, about to start the return.
I should rewatch those, man, and I guess now's a better time than any.
Twin Peaks, it's starring my good friend Christian Calloway. I think only the movie though.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the woodsmen. I don't know what that means.
David Lynch, during the original Twin Peaks series from like 35 years ago, he directed like 6 of those. He created it, but he only directed like 6 of those. When he did that season like 10 years ago, that return season, he directed all of them.
Right on. So I guess we'll get into this then.
Okay.
So David Lynch, what was the first film of his that you were exposed to?
See, that's tough, man, because some of his shit you could call mainstream. Some of it not at all. To be honest with you, though, like, yeah, there you go.
That's it, dude. Yeah. I'm gonna use that if I ever can figure out how to make a shirt. The whole damn enchilada pod. We still suck. Absolutely.
The first, it probably was the Elephant Man, to be honest with you, but I can't be 100% sure. It's not like with some of the horror stuff where I remember where I was the first time I saw this or that. Plus, when I was a child, I don't know what movie was a David Lynch movie and what wasn't. At that
see,
point.
I find that hard to believe because of how much you know about literally everything you get involved in.
So I probably saw the Elephant Man first out of all his movies, if I had to take a guess.
The Lady in Black from Chippewa Lake Slaughterhouse? Chippewa Lake. I always say Chippewa Falls, but nevertheless, she says happy birthday, Ryan.
Thank you so much. So still scare the shit out of me in October when I'm in there.
You know she's there. It's just so creepy. I love it. Yes.
Wild at Heart. Yeah, that one.
And Jared, that's what I think is going to happen to me when I finally do get into these. I think I am going to fall down a rabbit hole, kind of like the Fulci thing, and just go crazy and watch all of them.
You know what, man? I went ahead and I ranked all his films because there's
like 8 of them, right?
Yeah, there's 10, but 2 of them tie into the series.
Okay.
And I kind of put them on their own because they're their own animal, And I did appreciate Fire Walk with Me, 1992 more.
Now I seen that.
Pieces.
You said it was what, 92?
Yeah.
So I was 13.
It was right after the TV series he made that movie.
I seen that because I had a friend when I was about 13 or 14 that was a giant Twin Peaks fan, and I paid very little attention to it. I have no idea what happened.
Okay.
So I was like 13.
So I'm not going to include the
Twin Peaks movies,
the missing pieces, and Fire Walk with Me on like the list. So there's really only 8 films.
Okay.
So it's not that much.
Cool.
And in 8th, I have, and it's the last feature he did, if you don't include, the missing pieces, and it's Inland Empire from 2006. Actually, no, I'm missing something. I will still have, that's 9th. There's technically 11 then.
All right.
That one I'd have 9th.
All right.
It's still a good movie. I'd still watch it just about any time. It continues the long, like lifelong collaboration that he had with Laura Dern, who was in, I think, half his movies.
So she was like his Helena Bonham Carter.
So like Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. And just above that, I have Dune.
Dune, yes.
Which I like, but I don't love.
Speaking of Dune, Dune 2 is nominated for a few Oscars, including Best Picture.
Yeah.
That has nothing to do with David Lynch,
No.
but since he made the first movie.
Right.
And
but they remade the first and then did the
there's
second.
no way that movie is good enough to even be nominated
No.
Best Picture. And we'll talk about the Oscar nominations in a little bit, I'm pretty sure.
Just above that, at 7, I have Wild at Heart. And I know that's really low for some people. A good friend of this show, actually, it's their absolute favorite David Lynch movie. I won't say who it is.
All right.
And I can see why. You never seen Dune? I'd watch it. It's worth a watch. It's probably the least David Lynch of David Lynch films, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it.
I feel like it's more of a straight sci-fi film than like a David Lynch kind of thing.
Yeah.
There's still weirdness in there, but I don't think his signature stamp was on that as much as anything else that he did. At 6, I have Mulholland Drive.
I remember Mulholland Drive having a good soundtrack.
It does.
Did it have like a lot of hip hop on it and stuff?
There is some.
Yeah.
And this is Mulholland Drive, the feature film, not the failed pilot, because Mulholland Drive was originally a pilot for a new series that didn't get picked up. But then he reshot some of it and re-edited it, and it's mostly all the same actors. Like Naomi Watts is the lead. And then he made the film, and I like it a lot. Number 5 is the most interesting, I think, thing on here because it's so different. And this movie he made in 1999 called The Straight Story, and it's actually rated G, and it's very touching. It's something that a lot of filmmakers could have made, and it's one of those movies where it's a road trip movie, but it's more about the journey than the destination, which we've seen so many times. And I think most road trip movies should be more about the journey than the destination, just like life. Number 4 is Eraserhead, and that's probably low for a horror guy like me. That was his first movie.
That movie was very. I didn't get to, like, again, I started Eraserhead and I started Blue Velvet, and I fell asleep 20-25 minutes into both of them. But Eraserhead was very intriguing with the way 20 minutes go by before a word is even spoken in the movie.
Now these
and I think that's kind of a cool idea, and I just really want to see where he goes with it. I will watch it.
Once I break into these top 4, though, it's first one being Eraserhead. These are all movies I love. Number 3 is The Elephant Man, and it was tough to put it that low, and I know I'm in the minority to have it that low.
What year did that come out?
1980, the year I was born.
I've seen that, but I don't remember it.
Yeah, you should.
Because I remember the gimmick on the guy's head and all this. Yeah.
Number 2, and that's the big shocker. A lot of people have this last, and that's Lost Highway. I love Lost Highway. It's so fucked up. It almost makes no sense, but it makes no sense so much that it does to me. And it's that perfect blend of David Lynch meets the 90s, because it's 1997. And that's, everybody remembers that Nine Inch Nails song, Perfect Drug.
Is that for that movie?
Absolutely.
And then Manson's got a song in that soundtrack, too.
He's in the film.
He's in the film, yeah.
So
and that was
is,
his first time he was in anything, wasn't it?
I don't know.
I think it was.
It could be.
Charles Sherrod says, outside of Twin Peaks, he wasn't a monster fan of his. Lost Highway is worth a watch, but to me, he is a better television director. And I can see why people would say that. Dune was good if you never read the book.
Mm-hmm.
The new Dune movies are boring as hell.
The new ones.
Okay.
But I love Lost Highway. I know a lot of people don't. I do. Mm-hmm. It's the tale of two Roberts, really. Mm-hmm. It's Robert Blake in the first half of it and Robert Loggia in the second half. And they give two of the best performances ever.
Oh, nice. So they're both in the movie.
Yes.
Okay.
The movie is two stories into one. One kind of tail spins into the other one. And then it rewraps itself in a nice little bow. But not really, because it's David Lynch. So even when it makes sense, it doesn't. But no, that movie is a mindfuck. And I think it's more of a mindfuck than all his other ones. I do, man. I just love it. I love Patricia Arquette too. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, how can you go wrong with that?
And then number 1 is Blue Velvet because it is. It's just so good.
And then Patricia says, Dennis Hopper and Isabella Rossellini are so good in Blue Velvet.
I think Dennis Hopper's Frank is the quintessential movie villain. From Blue
I love
Velvet.
Dennis Hopper.
He is just so good at being just so fucking terrifying.
And Jeffrey Hatrix, who does our opening theme, stole his nickname Jeffrey Nothing from that movie.
Yeah.
I don't know how it fits in
No.
because I've never seen the movie, but he fully acknowledges it. You know,
Kyle
he doesn't-
MacLachlan's scared to say his real name.
Yeah,
And that's another Laura Dern in there too. That was that the first movie Laura Dern did with them? I think Blue Velvet was her first. She was so young. Yeah, crazy Dennis Hopper is the best, and he is
absolutely
10 levels of crazy in this movie. And he's so scary, even though he's just a regular guy. He doesn't have superpowers. He's not like some wizard or anything. He's just a regular fucking dude, but he's just so unhinged that he's terrifying.
Crank says Lost Highway is underappreciated.
Thank you.
Yeah. So this dude seems like one of the most crank as fuck directors in history.
I can see that.
Definitely seems like, you know, films he'd be into. He also said he just got out of Complete Unknown. He thought it was good. Where is it up here? Beep. Just got out of Complete Unknown, which is nominated too. It's pretty good, but not sure it will win much. But speaking of the Oscars, 3 horror movies received nominations.
They did.
And Best Visual Effects, which was the winner on our show, Alien Romulus. That's up against Better Man, which I think is the only thing that could have an excuse to beat it. I don't know if it will beat it. I don't know. You know, either way, one of those 2 movies should definitely win that category. But Better Man should have been nominated for a lot more than that. But nobody's seen the damn movie. Me and seven other people, I think, is all seen it.
And JP Cross is one of them.
No, he didn't see it.
What?
He wanted to see. He knew what it was, and he was like, "Oh, I love Robbie," because of course he likes Robbie Williams. Because why wouldn't the hardcore metal guy that likes crazy weird B movies be into the Britpop guy? Because that's JP. JP doesn't make sense.
No.
The enigma that is JP Cross. But it was decent, man. I liked it, but not enough other people did. But that was nominated for that, and then Nosferatu, which I should have been nominated Best Picture and some other things, maybe Best Actor, Best Director. It got nominated for your traditional, we'll throw horror a bone categories, you know, cinematography, costumes, wardrobe, hair and makeup, I think was the other one, and something else. But the real winner of the nominations is, of course, The Substance, which was nominated for Best Picture, Best Actress, Best hair and makeup, I think. It was costumes. It was in a category with Nosferatu, and I forget what the 4th one was. But they were nominated for some real good ones, like the big ones, the Best Picture and the Best Actress. So it's good to see horror actually getting some and
it's really
some pub there, the Oscars.
And it's really good for that film too, because they got a theatrical re-release out of it, which means more money.
Yeah, and the one thing about the Best Picture, which is kind of normal for the Oscars.
Oh, she got a Best Director nom too.
No, the Best Director, Best Actor, Best Picture. The 3 big ones, and then the 4th one was, I want to say it was Best Costumes,
something like that.
Because it was in a category with Nosferatu, which Nosferatu probably should win that too, because those Victorian costumes were just amazing. Yes. You said it right when we were watching it, like it might get nominated for best costumes, and then we started talking about Edith Head. I don't know if that was on air, or that was just us talking.
8 wins.
And original screenplay, yeah. Nice list, Ryan. Insert golf clap here. The DCS little drop they do. We don't know how to put drops in, so that's why we don't have it.
I like that when they do that.
I tried to make a drop today because those of you that are from Cleveland, and I don't think anybody in the comments are, We lost last week. We lost Chuck Shadowski, Big Chuck and Little John, which Zigzag knows. He maybe not knows him, but knows Glardy, who was then replaced by the Ghoul, who was then replaced by Houlihan, who was then joined by Big Chuck, and then Big Chuck, the Houlihan was replaced by Little John. And Late Night Friday movie, you had these guys just like Goulardi showing these really cool B horror movies most of the time and doing little skits in the middle, and like it was funny. And they have like this laugh that they used to always use. Yeah, it's not even it, but it's okay. I wanted to have it as a drop, but I don't know how to make an audio file from a YouTube file. And I was going to play it like anytime something was funny, but we're not really funny tonight anyway, so it wouldn't have got much use.
Ben crazy.
Yeah, I was going to play one of the skits and do that. So we're going to try to make that work. Eventually.
We could use their laugh. They're not using it anymore.
Yeah. Well, I don't.
In 30 years.
You know what? And we can get away with using their stuff because, who was it? Johnny Wrestling. What's his name? Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano was talking to Greg Iron about how he found out about it. His podcast. He was talking about it, and he was like, "Yeah, go to their website and order a movie to support them." And they sell the movies that they showed on the show. Like, so if they did Frankenstein, you'd see all the skits that Big Chuck and Little John did, plus the movie Frankenstein, which they obviously don't have the rights to. You know, and they're selling these for $20 a piece. So if they're selling other people's shit, we could sell their shit. No doubt. I didn't do that on purpose. Hold on. So, yeah, they were selling other people's stuff. So we're going to use their stuff and ask for forgiveness later. What's up?
What's up, boys?
Hey, how you doing?
I didn't tell him.
Well, I figured since tonight's a very special night with, Ryan's birthday and all
I was
that.
going to reach out to you to see if you would come on like this. I was going to send you a
It's
thing,
a hostile takeover.
That's right.
Cue the NWO music.
Yeah.
What's up?
Not a whole lot. Yeah. Well, I'm always joking about bloody enchiladas, so here we are.
We have Nina from the Bloody Essentials podcast, which just dropped their latest episode yesterday, which was a really cool episode about Skinamarink, a movie I have not seen, but I do want to see. And you had a couple actors and actresses from the movie, including the children actors from the movie. I was really impressed with the way you guys did those interviews, especially with the children, because they're kids. I have kids. I know they suck.
Well, as you can tell, they have one of them has very short attention span, but yeah, it was very, very fun to talk to them because it's one of my favorite movies right now. So, and it's not getting the love it deserves.
Really? I heard a lot of people talking about that when it
Well,
yeah, listen, it's not my birthday, it's my co-host's birthday.
Yeah, I said Ryan.
No,
my
cousin in the comments.
Oh.
He can have it. I'll go back. That's cool. No, that must be tough though, because people told me if I ever got into entertainment or whatever, don't work with animals or kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard the goat from The Witch was very difficult to work with, Black Phillip. He's retired now. Did you guys know that?
Jared Crank says, "What's up, Nina? We met in Chicago at Days of the Dead." Yes, that's when. He says, "I think." Yeah,
I think so too.
They met you guys when you were just still doing the other podcast, and the next thing you know, I'm seeing like all these alerts, like I'm leaving this podcast, and I messaged him after. I said, "What the fuck did you do with my girls?"
Yeah. See, I didn't even know the whole story behind that.
I still don't, but
until we had Ethan on. And then you told me about all that, how you tried to poach her.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm like,
but that was why, because she was done with the other thing.
We love her, but I'm glad for my life that we didn't, because if both of you had to deal with me, you two would have killed me.
Whatever.
The two of you, I would have been dead. So.
This little thing that you guys have going on, like, it works. So
yeah,
it wouldn't be the same.
I think so.
I feel like I would be.
Just know that you know about technology and stuff. Plus,
that's the only reason you wanted me.
That's the main reason. I tried to play it up like we wanted a female's perspective
Yes.
so it'll sound better.
Oh,
No, we didn't care. We were just using you.
there goes.
We're trying to use you. It didn't even work.
Oh, we wanted to use you for your technical skills.
Absolutely. That's
My
That's what
mind.
we're calling it these days.
no, that is exactly what it is. Oh man. Oh man.
I didn't do it.
Crank says we didn't break them up, I swear. Oh Jesus. Oh, fun.
I'm gonna
stuff.
call Ethan. Y'all are crying me crazy.
He's used to that.
Yeah, I know. He told me.
Did you see the Wolfman?
Yeah.
No.
Me neither. I was sick
No.
in bed.
No. Or if
I've
you
not.
do, see it for free. I seen it for free, and I'm still upset.
He still wants his money back.
That was me with the movie with Brandy. I was very
I
disappointed.
liked that movie.
It wasn't a horror movie.
The front room?
You said it wasn't
Yeah.
a horror movie.
It was not a horror movie.
And I was saying that too. Like, how can it be a horror movie when like there's nobody dies? I mean, the old lady died, but I mean, come on.
Yeah, but from not natural causes, but like they were amping it up. They were
Well, she did
amping.
bring it on herself. That's for
She
sure.
did, but like they were amping it up like she had some kind of supernatural ability, and then nothing happened.
No. She was just an evil old woman. There was no supernatural.
They were amping it up to make it seem like she had
They were.
abilities.
No, they definitely were. I
Yeah.
don't know. I think the reason I liked it was just how awesome that lady was. The old lady.
I mean, it
thought
was great acting. Don't get me
she was
wrong.
ever.
I don't think it's a bad movie. I think the marketing team fucked up.
It kind of bored me, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I just thought that old lady was a character. I loved her.
It didn't do much for me. But you can have horror movies without kills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's happened. Well, you brought it
Never
up.
Hike Alone.
Yeah,
The first one.
The first
nobody
Never Hike
died.
Alone. Nobody
no
died.
kills.
Yeah.
But you do need like scary stuff. I mean, mother-in-laws are scary, I guess.
Well, I've never been married, but I'll take
Uber religious people are scary.
Yes,
that.
they are.
Yeah, that I can agree.
Yes, they are. Oh yeah, she was one of those too.
with. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never.
Well, that's
been-
why I think that what's the Kevin Smith movie?
Red State.
Red State. I think that's a horror movie, but people tell me no.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you never seen it?
That's
It's on
re-
Tubi.
It's religious nuts.
Because it was like all you know how all Kevin Smith's movies all had rights issues and they were like you couldn't find them, but now all that's getting fixed and now it's on Tubi. It's really good, really good. I think it's his best movie.
I'll check it out. I love Kevin Smith.
Yeah, it's very
It's like-
hard to tell it's a Kevin Smith.
It's like
movie.
his forgotten movie, really.
I mean, because a lot of his movies are very dialogue driven, and so is this. So that's how you'll be able to tell it's one of his movies. But there's no Jay and Silent Bob or none of that.
A lot of his movies all tie into the same universe, and this one kind of is its own thing.
The lead from Strange Darlings in it.
Oh, okay.
The male lead,
Kyle,
that guy.
yeah, Gallner.
Sure.
Gallner.
Sure.
I think it's Kyle Gallner. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still have RSV brain. So
RSV,
yeah.
not RSVP.
No, not RSVP. I wasn't committing to doing anything while I was laid up.
We've all been sick for like weeks and weeks.
Oh,
and weeks.
Cleveland's been just
It's just
hit.
crazy.
Oh, it's the petri dish this whole town.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mm.
RSV is nothing to mess with. That's nasty.
No,
Oh no, he was done.
I think
In
it was
bed.
the second worst illness I've ever had, other than a pneumonia I had about 10 years ago.
Oof.
Yeah.
You were overdue.
Oh yeah. I've
James
had,
Gallner.
I
That's the
had-
guy's name.
yeah, Kyle Gallner. That's it. I've had COVID 3 times, and all 3 of those combined wasn't as bad as this thing was. Yeah.
I've never had COVID, knock on wood, to my
What
knowledge.
the fuck? And you live in Chicago?
Well, I didn't always live in Chicago.
Yeah, she's new up there.
Yeah.
Aren't you from Missouri?
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
well, it's
I
easy
paid
to.
attention.
That seems like it's easier to hide around there.
In theory, we won't get into it. Never mind.
No, you're good. In
No.
Chicago, you think there's nowhere to hide from disease.
We'll talk about it later.
So many people, right on.
I like big cities though, but not when I'm during a global pandemic.
Oh yeah, no. I'm glad I didn't live here at the time.
No, I didn't visit New York for like 3 years.
Hey,
And I used to go every year, like without
did you
fail.
send him that thing yet, Jordan?
No, I'll do it. It's in my car. I'll do it tomorrow.
The mask giveaway.
I've been sick for 2 weeks. It's in my car.
Jordan, if you are listening,
It's in my car.
it is definitely going to get sent out.
I have it right now. It's in my car.
Right on.
I promise.
So-
It's in my trunk.
And we were talking earlier about those movies that are coming to Cinemark, but on the 5th and the 6th, the Hellraiser 4K is being released.
Mhm.
I know. That'll be exciting.
Excited about that.
Yeah.
Excited.
I
I
love
like
Hellraiser.
seeing old movies in the theater. I don't know.
It's special. Yeah. We're going, my partner and I we're going tomorrow to see Eraserhead in theaters.
Woo!
And he's never seen it, so it's gonna be very interesting.
Oh, nice. That's nice that they're. Oh yeah, I heard you say that on the podcast. It's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
nice. I've never seen any of these David Lynch movies, and I tried to in the last week, but I fell asleep after I turned one on, and like I see the first 25 minutes of Blue Velvet and the first 25 minutes of Eraserhead. I know I'm gonna like both of them, but
I changed my mind. Nina, you and I are gonna kill this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should just
Hey,
bury your head very, very deep underground.
Right on. So we have other people popping in here. See?
Bring him back.
What's
Oh
up, man?
shit! It's Mike Connor. What's up, Mike?
What's going on, everyone? How you all doing?
Oh, we're having our least prepared, least advertised clusterfuck of a show.
Yeah.
Well, isn't that like that almost every time? Because I remember
No,
sometimes you guys have
we
it was
research
always
stuff,
like
we-
quick at the spur of the
We have
moment.
notes and we
Notes.
have
What are those? I actually do have some. So let's talk about David Lynch. I ranked my David Lynch films, and I did
All right.
my David Lynch isms and my existential. Never mind, I'm not going that deep. But yeah, were you a David Lynch fan, Mike?
Not really, to be honest. I mean, I was, but I wasn't. A lot of his stuff I seen a lot when I was younger, and it was like at the time I really didn't get it.
Mm, that's fair.
But you know, very little as I got older and everything. I kind of watched, you know, some of the stuff. I think his first movie, if I'm not mistaken, was Eraserhead, if I'm not mistaken.
Right,
Yes.
we're
Is that the
talking
first
about
one?
it. Yes,
Okay.
it was.
Yeah, very first one.
His very first one. Thank you, Nina.
Elephant Man is second, I think.
Yes, it is.
I
And,
did.
Jared
He did
said he's
Elephant
going
Man,
back to the theater to watch the
Elephant Man
special.
was a
I'm gonna
great
see it
movie,
tomorrow, I think. Let me know how it is.
but
Elephant Man's really good. It's one of his more
It's-
linear stories.
Yes.
yeah, it was a very good movie. I remember that. I just didn't know that was a David Lynch movie, to be honest.
Because it doesn't feel like one.
Was it?
Yeah, see, I think
I
I've seen
didn't know
that.
how to make heads or tails out of it when I first saw it, but I still thought it was a pretty good movie. But I felt like little by little as I watched like some of his stuff, like in bits and pieces, it was like he was like a little bit ahead of his time in a way. He was
Yeah.
definitely ahead of his time in a way, and that's a good
Oh,
thing.
100%.
Someone is a director, or whether it's a director, the musician, or whatever it is, you're ahead of your time, then you know you're latching on to something.
See, Mike, I always think of you when I think of a certain David Lynch movie, and I'm about to say what it is. Nina, I don't know if you know who Mike is, but he used to play guitar in a band with me many, many years ago when we were young. Oh, hello. Hello. Oh,
So
but
Pretty kitty.
yes, Mike used to have this thing. He would, as rehearsals and whatever, we were preparing for shows or the studio or whatever. As rehearsals would get deeper into the night, you'd see more and more and more and more empty beer bottles on top of his amp,
yeah,
and they were usually green bottles that said Heineken on them. And what was the line, Mike?
Damn good beer.
No,
Remind me, Edmund.
Heineken. Fuck that shit. That's Blue Ribbon. You and Rob would go back and forth on that shit. It's Blue Velvet, man. And it's awful. I
Right
used
on, right on.
to do it.
Yeah,
People
yeah,
were quoting David Lynch, and they didn't even know it.
Yeah, you
But
got
I knew it.
man. You know it. All right, that's great that you knew it and everything like that. I didn't know it at the time.
I'm pretty sure Rob knew it though.
Oh.
So yeah, we're in the process of getting a new intro for our podcast, like the music thing, and
Nice.
we're gonna actually use some of Ryan's music and your music as the intro, so
Mhm.
we don't have to get so
we don't get
Music.
copyright killed.
Wait, my music.
Yeah.
Yeah, your music with
Right.
Ryan. This Slim.
I was into Slim.
Yeah.
No.
The fuck
No.
out of here.
All right, hey man, have fun at it. I don't give a shit.
Neither was I. I wasn't there.
No, we were in that other band, Lim Dis.
That's right.
Lim Dis.
Yeah.
We did it for the gore.
Dat limb, not just that limb.
Oh, that Lim. Oh, we also did that Lim too. Lim Dis was like, we tried to do it, but it wasn't working. Your Fred Durst impersonation was like horrible, so we just threw it like in the crapper.
So
I need to
anyway.
have the little
Yeah.
go back to the 90s, man.
Oh,
I smoked weed with Fred Durst before.
Really?
Yeah.
You never told me that story.
I never
before.
did?
No.
Wait a minute, you were there.
I was?
Yeah, actually you were. Now that I think about it, you were right next to me when this happened.
did
It was
Fred Durst
me,
go
you, Fred Durst. It was Paul Booth, the tattoo guy.
I was there.
I know. And the only reason I don't smoke, the
man.
only reason I hit it because a cop came into the circle and the joint ended up in my hand somehow. So I just looked at the cop and went like this and handed it to him, and he hit it. So when he hit it, I hit it so I could say I smoked with a cop. Because it was cooler to smoke with a cop than it was to smoke with Fred Durst.
I was more excited to meet Paul Booth.
Well, yeah, I didn't know. I didn't even know who Paul Booth was at the time. Do you know who Paul Booth is, Nina?
No.
He's one of the most famous tattoo artists of all time. He's
Oh.
I don't know who he is. He's this crazy tattooed guy that's with Fred, and Fred got his break by doing tats for Jonathan Davis. That's how he got discovered.
Oh.
So Paul Booth is there. He's just some weird, freaky looking dude. And I don't think nothing of it because I know a lot of freaky looking dudes. So we're just hanging out and kicking it. So fast forward, who knows how long, and I'm watching a documentary on HBO, I think it was, and this guy's on there that I was hanging out with, Paul Booth. And I was like, oh. And then I started to do more research on him. But he's a black and gray, he's the black and gray guy.
Yes.
He is.
Puts his face in the little demons that he makes a lot of times.
Ooh.
And when you get a tattoo from him, he does what he wants, not
Yeah.
what you ask for.
And you're on like a year waiting list with like a $10,000 deposit.
Yes.
For him to
I mean, when he's that good, like, do you really have a say?
and you wouldn't want to. I mean,
Like-
because if you were getting tattoos,
Used to be a 3-year waiting list.
if you saw
Jesus.
the list of like celebrities that his ink is on, you'd be
It's
blown
insane.
away.
Yeah.
This guy is
A friend of mine got lucky. He was at a tattoo convention, and Paul Booth's sitting there hanging out, just like at a horror convention, how like the actors would be hanging out sometimes. And he walks past, and he goes, "Hey, dude, you want to get a tattoo?" And the dude sat down and just did this crazy piece that would easily run $5-10 grand. And
Wow.
just nothing.
Yeah, Paul Booth's prices are out there, man.
It was
I don't know if if it's still that much and everything like that, but I know back in the day he was very, very well sought after.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's funny. You said you never heard that story. You're right next to me when it
I
happened.
forgot about it.
I
I
thought we met
I
Paul Booth.
forgot you were there.
I didn't care about Fred Durst. I cared
Well,
about Paul Booth. I
Ryan
knew
used
who
to roll these joints
he
that
was.
were
Oh, yeah.
like just hog legs. You
Yeah,
call it. They
that's
were
what I
like just.
call them.
Oh shit! I remember
Made
those
by a
bad
factory,
boys.
'cause, like Ryan, anything Ryan does, he's very, very
Here we go.
particular about everything. Everything has to be perfect. He's right. He's not in his head. It's just the way Ryan is.
You guys are
I know women very, 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 very well.
He likes the best of everything.
Well,
Yeah.
guys, I gotta pop off here because I have to eat dinner. But happy birthday, Ryan! It was great to be a part.
Thanks.
Bye,
Happy
guys.
birthday, Inman.
Take it easy.
now I'm gonna get bullied by them now.
Right on.
But
But hey, I think we should probably wrap this up, though. Huh? It's been going for about an hour.
A little
I don't
bit,
think
yeah.
anybody else even listening.
I don't know. What is?
But,
oh, that's what Craig said. Okay.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was a while ago. He left and went to the movies.
Oh.
But
He abandoned
yeah, it's so
me.
funny, man. I was gonna reach out to a couple of you guys and try to get you on to tell this guy happy birthday.
Yeah, when Inman reached out to me
Yeah,
today, when Inman reached out to me today, because I've tried getting rid of my Facebook because I can't stand Facebook anymore.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
a
it's brutal, man.
It's a piece of shit platform. X is just as bad. Instagram is getting just as bad. But
I just want to talk about horror
he
movies.
turned around and reached out to me, and I was just like, yeah, man, anytime you guys want me on, I understand last minute's last minute.
Yeah.
That's cool. Don't get me wrong. And stuff. And because each time that you guys have had me on, I loved being on.
Well, we love having you. Absolutely.
And I love being on and being asked to be on and give my 2 cents and everything. But, I was like, yeah, man, no problem. If I can make it in time, I make it in time. If I don't, all right, there's always another time. And I just happen.
Anytime, unless we're going to talk about Jason Lives, and then you stay away.
You can't talk about the Jason Lives?
Oh, my God. I was actually talking to someone about that today. I was like, dude, my friend Ryan's face, it was just like, it was like he got anally raped by an electrocuted dildo.
Yeah.
And it was just like, wow. I was like, hey, man, I mean, everyone has their opinions. I've had people turn. My favorite horror movie is the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Absolutely love it.
I went to the theater to see it on the 50th anniversary.
Me too.
I saw it the day before its actual 50th anniversary because the next day I already had tickets to go see Terrifier 3. So I was like, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
So and stuff, but I've had people turn around and tell me, "Yo, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that is such a fucking piece of shit movie."
No,
Who says that?
Now, the people I've talked to about movies about that, and talk movies about it and everything.
Or are they...
Really?
No.
Ryan's not a fan of it, but he always respects its importance in the genre.
So
and how well it's shot and everything.
So well made.
It is so well made, and it was done the way it was supposed to. But anyway, before we get off topic and everything, but it was just like, yeah, man, anytime you guys think I could hop on, I'll hop on in a second and everything.
But since you guys brought up Friday the 13th, I don't know if you guys seen, but there's a new 4K Jason Goes to Hell coming out.
Well, I don't know how really that's possible when the box set just fucking came out like a couple of years ago and everything was restored in 4K.
Everything on the box set is not 4K.
You sure? Because I could pull my booklet out right now.
Am I right?
Well, I think the first two.
Some of them are.
The first
one
two
is,
maybe.
two is.
I think 1 and 2 are.
I don't think those are the only ones. But I all of them aren't.
I thought all of them were supposed to be.
No, they're all remastered and all got added stuff, but they didn't have they didn't get upgraded to 4K.
Okay.
2009 didn't. 2009 wasn't 4K on the box set, and it was just released in 4K recently. Part 3 was. 1, 2, 3 was.
I know they remastered 3 in a new 3D scan for the.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, so now Adam Marcus in the beginning of the Jason Goes to Hell that is on the box set, he says, "You guys all talk about how much you hate this movie, but this is the 4th time you bought the same movie or something." It's funny. Now it's gonna be a 5th time.
Hey, look, it's not like the greatest Friday the 13th movie. I will admit that.
Oh yeah.
And stuff, especially like I'll grab my Friday the 13th notepad to see where I actually ranked that. But it was still. That's the thing about the Friday the 13th movies. A lot of them weren't that great, but they were watchable, and you had fun watching them.
Absolutely, every one of them. But when you go to the Halloween franchise, which we just reviewed recently, there are some in there that are not watchable. They are absolutely horrible.
Yeah,
and Friday the 13th,
really bad.
You don't have that problem.
Really
I like
bad.
5. Resurrection. I mean, I didn't like 5, but I can watch it.
Like I know a lot of people shit on Season of the Witch and everything.
Love it.
I personally like Season of the Witch.
I think it's a good movie. It's just not a Halloween movie.
Right.
It's not Halloween, but I still think it's a good movie.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
I had that movie as an A or a B.
If it didn't have a Halloween name on it, then it would be a fantastic movie.
You're right, but you can't go back and rewrite history, though. It does.
No, you can't.
I had that movie at like an A or a B when we did it. By the time we're done with the episode, Ryan had me drop it, I think, to a C just because he made such valid
Some
points.
plot holes.
Like, well, yeah,
I'm sure that's the one thing. Like when me and Eamon used to sit and talk horror movies,
yeah.
I have my opinion. He has his opinion. My opinions might make sense. His opinions made sense. So maybe I might have to knock my opinion down a peg or two, or he might knock his opinion down a peg or two.
I ruined Kane Hodder for him. That was my fault.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
How did you
I
do
love Kane.
that?
I love Kane, but I used to always say he was the best Jason. And how did he put it? He said, "What does Kane do that that's so special? The way he breathes. He's not even supposed to be breathing. He doesn't have lungs." And I'm like,
that is a
all right,
valid.
you got me there, buddy.
Yeah, that's what. All right, so since you brought that up, Eamon, who's your favorite Jason?
Ted White.
There you go. That's Ted White is because Ted White, in my opinion, what makes him the best Jason, he brought the brutality of Jason.
And that's why number 2 was
Derek Mears,
who also does that.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. But Kane Hodder falls in the top, falls at number 3 in my opinion.
Yeah, mine. I had him at 6.
Yeah,
I had him at 6.
He's down there.
But that used to be number 1. But then we started rewatching the films again, and then of course, when he brought that up. But no, I like Steve Dash because I like that character of Jason. I like the fact that he's vulnerable. I like the fact that could be a real guy. But
yeah, but Steve Dash wasn't the only one that played Jason in part 2.
5 people did.
Yeah.
Yep.
So now you got to figure. So now we got to. More than likely, you guys did. Been a while since I did it. Where did he play as Jason? Where did the other ones play as Jason?
Most of the movie.
He was most of the movie.
Yeah.
Warrington Gillette had 2 scenes. He had the
Without
window
the mask,
scene.
Yeah.
And he also
Strangled
his hands.
Crazy
He
Ralph.
killed Crazy Ralph.
Ellen Luter.
Ellen Luter's the boots. There was a
It's in the beginning, if I'm not mistaken, right? Okay.
technically the first person
adult
to ever
Jason.
play adult
It's a
Jason,
woman.
and it was a woman. The
Yes.
first time you ever see adult Jason on screen are those boots.
Yep.
And we're gonna meet her sometime this year.
Yeah,
She's starting to do cons,
fine.
and I think it's because we were trying to hunt her down so fiercely that somebody caught wind of it. Actually, CSR Collectibles, our sponsor, they put out a video of different Jasons that they were doing signings with or something. And I was like, dude, you got to get Ellen Luter. And I kind of think that might be why they signed her, because they signed it to a thing. And
I searched for months to try to get
for my birthday, yeah,
for his
because
birthday
I have
last
almost I have a signature from almost every Jason. I'm missing
That's
Ellen
awesome.
Luter.
Uh-huh.
I'm missing the guy whose name Brooker. I can't get Brooker.
He's dead.
Yeah, Richard Brooker. Yeah, you can't get him.
And then there's
He's another good. He's also one that played a great Jason.
Dan Bradley, which was the fat Jason from part 6.
You can get him.
He can be got, but he doesn't do a lot of cons.
Right.
Wait,
He's
the
not-
fat Jason.
Paintball scene.
He was the guy that was originally cast as Jason.
Paintball scene. Okay.
When they seen the
Way
dailies, I was like, this guy has been dead for years, and now he's a fucking 3. He gained 200 pounds. It doesn't make sense. So him, the stuntman from part 2, whose name I can't think of right now, but he's the guy that killed Lauren Marie Taylor in the movie,
Yes.
and he did a couple other things. First name starts with a C.
Carl Fuller.
That's it, Carl Fullerton.
Yeah, Carl Fullerton.
Yeah. I remember that name being passed around.
I think that might be it, man. I think that might
you got everybody else.
literally be it.
Yeah.
But
So
I
he's
have
got
like
a
about
huge
I have about
wall
20 of them.
Yeah, he's got the collection.
Well, I could see right there and everything like that. Like if I ever came over to his house, I would turn around and sit there and be like,
Oh yeah.
I would
Right
just
there,
sit there and stare at the
that's where
wall like
Jasons
the whole
are.
for 2 to 3 hours. I would stare
right
at
there
the
next to my
wall.
head.
Right next to your head.
Because I know that because Ted White signed in black,
Yes.
so you can barely see it. So I put a white piece of paper behind it,
so you can see it.
so you can see his signature.
See, I tried to track down Ellen Luter for months, and I got a lead. I got a good lead, and I found out that she'd actually, for the last 20-some years, has been Adam Sandler's like wardrobe lady on all his
Adam
movies.
Sandler's Edith Head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Literally every movie Adam Sandler's done, she's worked on.
Yeah, since like Little Nicky or something.
Mm-hmm.
So now, if you think about it, in a very, very, very tiny way, Adam Sandler ties into Friday the 13th.
Yeah, absolutely. He does. So we're gonna try to get.
Spooky.
My plan was, because I know you can get a hold of Adam's crew, like his boys that are in the movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna reach out to them and then see if they could reach out to her and then get it worked that way. But
Right.
then I seen she's doing cons, so
I know some of those guys that are his buddies. They do cons and shit.
yeah, they do a lot of cons. What's his name? Clinton Howard. He was just he does horror cons all the time.
Oh, Clint Howard, he does cons all the fucking time.
Right, and he's got ties to Adam Sandler.
6 days a week he's in a new movie, and 1 day a week he's in a con.
None of the movies are good.
About Clint Howard, when I heard he was in Terrifier 3, I was like, oh my God,
amazing.
how stupid is this going to be? And I'm sitting in the theater, the scene comes up, and it's when the girls are sitting on Santa's lap and talk to him, and he's like, my wife is dead. I'm like, he's perfect in this role.
That was the best scene in the whole movie. I'm sorry.
That was
perfect.
Oh man. And it's funny because a lot of people don't realize, like, Clint Howard, he's in like a lot more horror movies than he is in like mainstream movies because he loves the horror genre.
The only mainstream movie I can think of with him is Waterboy.
That's the only one I could think of too.
He does whatever.
Yeah.
Is out there.
So it's like he does everything.
Yeah, no doubt, dude. That's crazy.
You'd probably get him in your movie if you made one.
Yeah, no, I know you could.
Yeah.
Hell, if I turned around and made a movie, I could probably get him in there for like 10 seconds to do something stupid.
Oh yeah, he's one of those guys that do all these B movies and fan films, and people just because people know him from cons, man.
Yeah.
And you know how horror conventions are. These guys become like family, and you can just ask them, "Hey, can you do this?" And a lot of times they will.
Yeah,
we've had so many of them on the show. You know, like who the hell are we? And these guys come on and talk to us.
like there's always like a laundry list of people I want to meet, like at horror cons. Like there's always one every few months. I find out it happens every few months here in Jersey, down in the Edison area, and like already because like I find out last minute and I can't put the money together.
Yeah,
and it's like, man, yeah, David Howard Thornton I could have meet. I'm gonna miss him and whatnot. And I heard he's a gem to meet.
He's gonna do a ton of appearances though.
And you find out about them and it's like, damn, it's in my home state for crying out loud. And I'm only finding out about like days before. What the fuck? Where am I hiding?
How far are you from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania?
Pennsylvania?
Yeah.
I never looked it up. I'm sure I'm at least a minimal 2 hours away.
Okay. Well, so I'm going to the Creature Feature Weekend. That's where that is. I'm going to go meet the Worm-Eyed Zombie from Zombie, and a couple other people are going to be there. So I'm going to be going to that. That's the furthest I think I'm traveling east for cons. But then we got some stuff in Michigan where we got press passes for some things.
I heard Michigan's starting to do a lot of cons like that and everything. Michigan, Indiana.
Yeah, and we have Cinema Wasteland coming up in Cleveland, and Brett Wagner of the Lost Leatherface, he's going to be there, so we're going to be there to hang out with that dude. He's been on the show a few times.
Sweet.
Yeah, he's a real cool dude.
Big swag, man.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Monster Garage.
Yeah.
I mean, the day I got to meet Kane Hodder, I thought Kane Hodder was a really nice dude and everything.
Yeah, he's cool.
Because I was asking him like questions that were not Jason related.
Yeah, he likes that.
Everyone like always goes to him for Jason. It's like, man, all right, I gotta think outside the box.
My son, when he met him, he asked him who would win in a fight, Victor Crowley or Jason Voorhees.
Oh, that's a good question your son asked.
Yeah.
How did he answer?
He went with Victor, which I would too.
Yeah, I kind of would too.
I like Jason better, but if you've seen the Hatchet movies, Victor.
Oh, I love the Hatchet movies.
His son also cosplayed as Victor Crowley the last time.
Yeah, the last time he was wearing the Victor Crowley mask, and Kane
Get
loved it. He'd seen him. That was the second time he met
Kane
Kane.
had him choke him.
Yeah, he let him because Kane doesn't choke you
People,
anymore
but he'll let you choke him
because of lawsuits.
Yeah,
But he let my son choke him in the picture.
with the Victor Crowley.
Oh man, that is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
How old is your kid?
He's was he 10? He's 10.
Ricky's
He met him for the first time I think when he was 8.
Good parenting.
He's autistic and he has a hard time talking sometimes. So
All right.
Understand him. So when he met Kane, this was like one of the coolest things. And he's trying to ask Kane whatever he's asking him. And I'm trying to translate for him just because I'm so used to doing it. And Kane like cuts me off and goes, I got this, man. And then he just took the time to like really like talk to him and be cool with him. And I was like, yeah, it's so cool, man.
I've like when I got to meet Kane and he signed my NECA figure and everything. As I was waiting in line, some people were like, some fans were very flabbergasted, and I do have to admit, yeah, he stood there and tried to let them get it out, and I guess he's like so used to it.
Yeah.
He knows how to translate it and everything and try to get what they're trying to ask him or say to him and everything.
Yeah, he's really good with.
And he's really good with people. But I remember I went to like some convention. I took my daughter. She's 15 now. She was like maybe like 10 or 11 at the time into New York. Her favorite wrestler at the time was Nikki Bella.
Okay.
And there were a lot of people like, doing horror spots and everything like that. It was like just one big giant convention.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what it was called.
Right.
People were dressed as Jason, people dressed as Freddy, Michael Myers. Someone was dressed as Eddie from Iron Maiden.
Nice.
And stuff, and I'm talking with all these people. And what's great about when you meet like someone at a convention, they understand like it's like overwhelming. That's like you're face to face with the person.
Yeah.
Like at first when I walked in front of Kane Hodder, I think I'm actually like a couple inches taller than the guy, but I was still somewhat intimidated.
Yeah.
It's fucking Kane Hodder.
Right.
He was Jason. He could fucking rip my spine out and hang me on a fucking tree if he wanted to.
Killed more people on video than anybody.
There were people I was watching like ahead of me, like they were so flabbergasted getting to meet him, whether it was the first time or the 100th time.
Right.
I thought that was
It's just like they're stammering. They're stammering over their words, and he's like making out and piecing everything together. That's what makes like a great like person. I heard Bill Mosley's the same way.
Yeah, I'd love to meet Bill.
I want to meet Bill so bad because I want to dress up as Chop Top just to walk in front and be like, music is my life.
You know what's funny about that? Like when I was a kid, I seen the Texas Chainsaw 1 and 2 so many times at like 4 or 5 years old that I got them mixed up into like one movie. I thought they were like, in my mind. And I always thought that the Hitchhiker and Chop Top were the same guy. Which is funny because
some people have admitted to me they thought the same thing. I was like, no, Hitchhiker got ran over at the end of the beginning one.
Yeah, he was done, but
his
in my mind, I didn't remember that.
He was out in Vietnam at the time.
Yeah.
And then he came back, and that's why he had the plate in his head. And then he said, what was the line? Damn Da Nang or some shit like that and stuff. And he's scratching at his head with the hanger and eating the pieces of flesh and everything. And when I first saw part 2, I was just like, oh my god, this is great. I love this.
I do. I absolutely. I like all of them. I like all of them. Now some I like more than others, but I like all of them.
2 is a little goofy for me.
Well, 2 was goofy for a reason, from what I understand. It was made to be goofy, but like people shit on part 2. I thought part 2 was a good sequel. People shit on part 3. Okay. Part 3, not the greatest of a third one, but it's still actually pretty good. Because it's taken like part 1 and 2 and putting them together. The next generation, which is the most goofiest one and the most laughable one, still enjoyable to watch. It was like almost trying to remake the first one.
Yeah. That's one I haven't seen since it came out, was the part 4. So I don't know if I like that one or not. But
I have all of them except obviously for the one that came out on Netflix.
yeah.
I've rewatched the one on Netflix. First time I watched it, I despised it.
Same.
I was like, I thought this is fucking hideous. They could have done so much better.
They could have. But that was during the pandemic. There was a lot of restrictions on things.
Yeah.
The second time around, it's growing on me.
It grows on you. That I've watched it like 3 or 4 times already. So to me, it gets a little better and better.
It does.
I just don't think like the storyline of Sally Hardesty coming back.
That was stupid.
Mixes. I don't think that's right.
Yeah.
But I still think
if you're gonna do that, why not use like CGI and make it really Sally?
See, I'm against CGI.
I am too normally, but I think that's better than getting a whole different actress that looks nothing like her.
I agree with you. 100%,
I mean,
dude.
I'm cool with doing neither.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that's probably the better idea.
Is just don't do it.
Well, think of it this way: after part 1, between part 2. And probably part 2, part 3. Sally was always somewhat in the storyline, some way, being like locked in a mental institution. All right, should have just kept it like that.
Yeah,
you could use a different storyline, like she's seeing premonitions of Leatherface doing this and trying to get the law enforcement involved. Something stupid and similar like that. Instead of her, what was she in the one that was out on Netflix? She was like a sheriff of the town. Really?
Yeah, whatever it was stupid. That was the worst part of the movie.
I thought the greatest scene out of that movie was the bus scene.
Yeah, that was cool. But my favorite scene was the Tesla. The Tesla driving away on autopilot. And he cuts the sister's head off, and the other girl's just stuck driving because the car's on autopilot, driving away with her sister spilling blood out of her head.
That was a good scene too, yes.
Yeah.
What also now leaves it open, can it continue from there? I don't think it should continue. I think they should have left it either at that or leave it at the video game.
Yeah,
just leave it at that.
It's rough because like with the first one taking place in the 70s, Leatherface gonna be 80 years old. You know, you can't just keep doing it.
That's weird.
So you got to switch up the timeline.
It's funny you brought up video games because I never even got to that today because there's a few prominent video games that are total David Lynch inspired / ripoffs.
Yeah,
Silent Hill 2 is pure David Lynch, like pure.
I could see that because I remember playing the first 2 Silent Hills when they first came out. At the time, I had a PlayStation. Obviously, I'm an Xbox guy now, but no, I could see that in the first 2 Silent Hill games.
The second one especially is just pure.
Yeah. Actually, I could see that.
It's like Twin Peaks worship, and another one that's the same is Zelda: Link's Awakening, the one for Game Boy. Totally inspired by Twin Peaks. Tezuka, I believe his name, the director, he even said he watched the series before he wrote the story.
Yeah, I've had the Game Boy, but I was never big into the Zelda games, to be honest.
Yeah, I love them. I was gonna say, if you never played the
everyone has their niche and everything like that, you know. I mean, I like, what I like. You guys like what you like, you know.
Well, that particular one, that Game Boy one, is so different from any of the others, and now I understand because it's so weird.
They released it on the Switch.
Yeah, I'm sure
we
you
own
can
it.
get
Yeah,
it's total David Lynch.
It's
Twin
amazing.
Peaks.
It's a great game.
I
don't know. I've never seen Twin Peaks.
And then what's that other one? It just can't. Alan
What's
Wake.
the game called again?
The Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening.
It was for Game Boy.
Switch, so I'll check it out.
It's one of the best Zelda games ever.
And Silent Hill 2 though is the most like David Lynch best game.
I have to agree with that.
And then also Alan Wake 2, which just came out 2 years ago.
Chris just finished playing this.
That fucker is also Twin Peaks rampant.
Honestly, I would even put the first Alan Wake as like somewhat of a David Lynch inspired video game.
It could be. The second one though is pure.
I mean, it's not 100% David Lynch inspired, but I never played either Alan Wake games, but I've seen gameplay. But the first one, I would even put in the it's David Lynch inspired, but Alan Wake 2, I would have to agree with you, Eamon. It's more David Lynch inspired than the first one.
Yeah, Alan Wake and the Zelda game are more like Twin Peaks-ish, whereas Silent Hill encumbers all David Lynch things. Like it's so
actually, if you
really obvious what they're doing.
If you think about it, actually, it's coming to mind. Another video game I would throw it somewhat into that category is what is it? Shit, I was playing it for a while on Xbox. On Xbox on Game Pass. What's that?
Life is Strange, because those are totally David Lynch-esque too.
Life is Strange is another one. That's one I was going to bring up.
And all of them, because they branched out. Like
Alice something. Alice Madness or something like that.
Who played that?
American McGee. He created the first two of those games.
Let's just put it this way. In Silent Hill 2, the premise is this. Your wife has passed away. All of a sudden, you receive a letter from her. She's dead. She's clearly dead. It's not a twist. She's dead. But you get a letter from her. And in this letter are these clues you have to investigate.
Yeah. I remember the plot.
Yeah, and you end up in this strange town with strange inhabitants with all these secrets and just it's totally David fucking Lynch, man.
No, I 100% agree because I did have Silent Hill 2, and I believe it only came out for the PS2 if I'm not mistaken.
It was like 2003 or something.
Yeah, it's that back then. I hate that I gave that game up. I sold it I traded in for another game along with the original Silent Hill, which I'm deeply kicking myself in the ass for.
I think actually go back to those again now.
But no, Silent Hill 2 is definitely David Lynch-esque. 100%. I agree with that one.
More like a David Lynch movie than a David Lynch movie. Crazy.
That's like a David Lynch movie that you could control to be a David Lynch movie.
Yeah, basically.
Kind of seen that coming, but Stitch is officially in A Killer's Confession.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's cool.
But anywho, so, yeah, we're going to wrap this up because we're going for like an hour and a half. But by the way, Alice is the game you were talking about. I just looked it up for you. The game is called Alice. I've never played it.
I've never played that either.
But yeah, we're gonna get out of here. It's been like an hour and a half. But thanks for coming on.
Yeah,
happy birthday, Ryan.
Happy birthday, Inman.
Thank you.
Hey, and yeah, we're gonna get the fuck out of here. We'll see you guys all next week. I got an interview coming up with a guy's name that I don't know off the top of my head that I will put in.
Like I said, anytime you guys want me to join in, just give me a heads. Tell Inman to text me, and I'll see what I can do.
Right on, man. Sounds good, man. We'll talk to you later, Mike.
Thanks again for having me, guys. You guys have a great evening and be safe.
All right, man. And we'll talk to the rest of you guys next week at 7.
What can I do when I'm stuck inside you?